My name is Lena Carter, and I am 23 years old. I came to Los Angeles with a big dream to become a fashion designer. Ever since I was young, I imagined myself creating stunning outfits and watching people wear my designs on famous stages. I arrived in the city with only one small suitcase and almost no money. I didn't know a single person there. I had no relatives, no friends, and no support system. Los Angeles felt overwhelming. Crowded streets, tall buildings, constant noise, and endless people. In that huge city, I felt invisible and alone. I lived in a very small studio apartment. It was just one room with a tiny kitchen space and an old bathroom. The rent was expensive, but it was the cheapest option I could afford. To survive, I took on many part-time jobs. Some days I worked at a cafe, other days at a clothing shop, and at night I cleaned office buildings. I worked nonstop just to pay rent and buy food. Life was hard, and many nights I cried silently so no one would hear me. Every week I attended fashion interviews and design auditions. I carried my sketches and designs everywhere and gave my best every time. I truly believed in my dream, but the response was always the same. You're too young. You need more experience. Try again later. After hearing rejection again and again, my hope slowly faded. I felt exhausted and broken. I started questioning whether my dream would ever come true. Sometimes I even thought about returning home and giving up everything. One afternoon, my agent called me. His name was Mr. Lewis. Usually his calls brought bad news, so I felt nervous. But this time, his tone was different. He told me about an unusual offer. A very wealthy older man was searching for a young woman for a private arrangement. It had nothing to do with fashion or design, and I didn't fully understand what the role involved. Mr. Lewis said the payment was extremely high, enough to fix all my financial problems. I felt confused and scared. What kind of job was this? Was it safe? Was it even right? But then I looked at my empty wallet and thought about my unpaid bills and tiny apartment. I had no other option. I needed the money. With fear in my heart, I agreed. The next day, I visited a large and elegant mansion. My hands trembled as I rang the doorbell. A tall man opened the door and guided me inside. The house was filled with expensive furniture, artwork, and decorations. Everything looked luxurious but cold. Then I met the owner, Richard Moore. He was 70 years old, tall, and dressed in a dark suit. His presence felt serious and powerful. Richard explained everything honestly. He wasn't looking for an employee. He wanted a wife. I was speechless. He said he needed a quiet, respectful, and attractive woman who wouldn't ask many questions. My only responsibility would be to attend social events with him and live in his home. In return, he would pay me $12,000 every month and provide a life of luxury. He gave me one night to think about it. That night I couldn't sleep. I thought about my struggles, my dream, and my difficult life. The next morning I called Richard and accepted his offer. We married quickly and very few people knew about it. I moved into his mansion. He bought me expensive clothes, jewelry, and gifts, but he never showed affection. He never touched me or spoke gently. He had strict rules. I had to smile at events and act happy. I wasn't allowed to ask personal questions. One rule was absolute. I could never enter his office. Even surrounded by wealth, I felt empty and lonely. His bedroom door was always locked, and I often wondered why he truly married me. One night at a party, a woman approached me with anger in her eyes. She introduced herself as Clara, Richard's ex-wife. She revealed the truth. Richard had to remain married for 1 full year to claim his family's inheritance. If the marriage ended early, all the money would go to his son. My heart shattered. I wasn't a real wife, I was part of a scheme. Later, I met his son, Ethan, who was 28. He was cold and resentful. He accused me of marrying for money and blamed me for everything. Over time, we started talking more. Slowly, he warned me that his father was hiding something connected to my past. One night, I broke the rule and entered Richard's office. Inside a drawer, I found an old photograph. It showed a woman holding a baby. That baby was me. Standing beside them was Richard. When I confronted him with the photo, he finally confessed the truth. The woman was my mother, a fashion designer. She died when I was very young. Richard had promised her that he would protect me. He married me to keep me safe, not for money. In the end, I had to make a choice, money or truth, fear or love. I chose love. I burned the contract and stayed not because of wealth, but because of something real. That decision changed my life forever. True happiness doesn't come from money or power. It comes from honesty, love, and listening to your heart. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and share. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting stories.